What's up, you absolute legends? So I want to talk about something that is really important when it comes to basically law of assumption. So you can think of your life in three phases. The first phase is called phase one. And basically what happens is when you're a human, you play a human game. So when you play the human game, what happens is imagine you're all powerful, super legit, soul, whatever you want to call it, right? You're like, hey, friends, why don't we forget that we are who we are and we go into human bodies and we have a fun little time, right? That's the whole premise of the human game. It's a fun little time. Now, the way the human game works is in order to really play the game, you have to forget that you were anything else other than human, or else the game would be up, right? So when you play the human game, phase one is you're born a human and you have no conscious faculty. You don't know what's going on. You just know that you are, and you just get a bunch of things downloaded into you, right? You absorb information from your parents. You absorb information from society. You absorb information from your experience. And because you don't understand that your attention to things is what's creating the reality, everybody has like this eclectic life experience when they're younger, because they are around these things and they don't understand that if they pay attention to them, they become more dominant and all those good things, right? So phase one is you build this reality with all these limitations and constraints. The second thing that happens is once you are past phase one, you start to go, this is shit. Like, I don't want to be fucking broke anymore. I don't want to look this way. Whatever your thing is, you get sick of it. So then you start going down this path of like, how do I create my own reality, etc. And that's called phase two. Now, in phase two, what happens is you start to become a little bit aware that what your reality is based on an externalization of your consciousness. Basically, the contents of your mind pushed out into an external reality create your physical third-dimensional reality. So what you want to do is you want to have a systematic process for clearing lack and limitation from your life. And the way that you do that is once you start to wake up, generally, and this is how it happened for me, it could be different for everybody, I don't fucking know, but this is what happened for me, maybe it'll resonate, maybe it won't, is you'll start to push up against these limitations and you're like, this is stupid. Like, I should be able to go through this. Why is this fucking here? Why is this always happening? You notice like patterns that are retarded and you basically get caught up in these like loops and you're like, dude, fuck all this bullshit. If I'm the creator of my reality, I don't want this anymore. So what really helps with phase two of really getting to the point to where you're effective at creating your reality with your mind as opposed to physical action is you want to feel all of the discomfort from any type of limitation that is internal. So if you're like, I want to go talk to this girl or I want to go talk to this guy, and you like run up there and you like feel this wave of emotion that's like, you're a fucking pussy. It's like everybody's felt that. It's like, you ain't shit. Like, they will never love you, right? That's a good example of like a limiting construct that you created, right? And it's important to understand that you created it, not because you created it consciously with intention, but just your focus basically crystallized that assumption into play. So the easiest way, right? You can either live your whole life with a rock in your shoe and try to bulldoze through that type of situation every single time, or you can really feel into it. You can feel all the limitation and all the fuckery. You can feel it with your emotions. And then you can say a simple thing like, I'm the creator of my reality. I created this while I was unconscious to create an experience of limitation and believability in my reality. Because playing the human game without limitations, and if I just got everything I wanted, it wouldn't be as fun in phase 2 and 3 to rediscover my power and then create the life that I want that was carved out by not having it in phase 1. That's the whole premise of the whole sitch. So in order to get to phase 2 and phase 3, what you want to do is you want to feel into all those limitations. If you're like, I'm a millionaire, and you feel like a fucking poor, broke piece of shit, that is a construct in your mind that is blocking patterns of reverberation through the universe that allow you to manifest that idealized version of yourself. It's like a fucking gunk on your windshield, right? You're awesome. You're covered in mud. You can drive with one eye open, covered in mud, or you can get the fucking mud out and then you can drive really good. So the way that you clear a lot of those things, you feel into them, you say, I created this. I appreciate how good I am at creating reality. I'm so powerful that I was able to create a limitation that was so believable that I forgot that I can actually have what I want. That's how fucking good I am at reality creation, is I can actually create things that will trick me so hard into thinking that I can't have what I want that it looks indomitable. But the funny part that dissolves all that is you created it in the first place. That's how genius you are at creating. So when you start to push into those things, you want to have like a little affirmation or whatever, but it's essentially three things. That you appreciate that you created it. You give yourself credit for creating it, because without acknowledging that you created it, it has power over you, which will not fly. So you acknowledge that you created it. You appreciate it. You identify, I am the creator of my reality. I'm the one who creates my externalized reality through the contents of my mind and what I focus on. And now here's the nail in the coffin. You go, I feel all of this. Now I recall my power from it. I recall all the energy that I expended into creating this construct. I recall all of that energy. And what'll happen is the first couple times it won't feel like it works. But what happens is eventually you'll start to see any point of resistance as a creation that you made unconsciously that holds little nuggets of power in it. So you go through life and you run up against a limitation, instead of being like, fuck, I'm going to die. This sucks so bad. Depression. You go, oh, this is fucking awesome. I just found another storehouse of power that I didn't know that I had access to. So now you employ a very simple process. I'm the creator of my reality. I appreciate all of this creation that I created, all of this limitation, because it makes me believe that I'm limited. Feel into it. I recall my power. And then once you start treating them like that, now you're super psyched about life, because all of the different uncomfortable discomfort feelings that you run into, you know that they have power in them, and that you don't have to directly live with them and or engage with them. You just have to feel the extent of them, because that allows your consciousness to kind of like rope it in. And then you say, I recall my power, and you pull all of your consciousness that you invested in that limitation back into you. And now you're literally powering yourself up like a video game off of all limitations. And now you start to feed off of this, and you're like, damn, this is really good. Every time I feel discomfort, I get some type of power up. And you get the ability to basically go into that phase 2. And then phase 3, I'll talk about in a different one. But it's essentially where you're pretty damn fucking powered up. Like, you don't have a lot of discomfort anymore. You basically eradicated all thoughts of lack and limitation from your consciousness and stuff like that. And you're able to create at a much easier and freer level. But the first step is really just understanding that, like, you know, when you wake up, like, cool, whatever, we're playing a game. The game's only fun if there's a bunch of smoke and mirrors that make me think I'm not that powerful. And then, like any hero's journey of any movie you've ever seen, they start to get these little tools and they get more power-ups. That's the type of experience you can have with discomfort once you start to see it through a phase 2 perspective of like, oh, good, there's like little nuggets of my energy in here. I'm going to suck all those out. And now I'm a more powered up version of myself. And you'll feel it too. You'll feel those things dissipate. And what will happen is your higher self will start to guide you along the path of different uncomfortable experiences, but you won't perceive them as like you're being thrown into crazy situations. You'll have more of a detached view of them. And then once you have those detached views, you can really insert your mind into those scenarios and conquer them. That's why this is called inner conquest. When you conquer something, there's 2 ways you conquer it. You conquer the state and you make it dominant and you let it express. The second thing is you conquer the discomfort and you suck all of the energy out of it, knowing that you created it in the first place and that the creator is always bigger than the creation. The creations cannot hurt you, because if you can observe anything, then it's not you. Something you created. And anything that you could create, you can uncreate. So hope this helped. If you guys want some type of personal one-on-one stuff, got some options in the bio. Other than that, keep conquering. Cheers.